wasn't even expecting some applause because some of my team members are here and say there are so many boring VC presentations. Try to be funny. Problem is I'm a trained accountant and controller, so it's a bit difficult for me. I will do my best, yeah? First thing, team is around. Can those from E.ON just stand up and show themselves? So these are the guys you need to contact afterwards if you want to find out more, and certainly me, I'll be around until tomorrow lunchtime. As we are a strategic corporate VC, I think it's appropriate that I talk quickly about what is E.ON about. Some of you might know, but I'm not asking you to know all details. The company is going through another tremendous change. I mean, since I joined 13 years ago, I was quite astonished that I'm so long with the company already, but that's the truth. The company was constantly restructuring. However, the big move was announced last year when we said we are going to take over Innogy. And with this, the important item is that we are going to focus very much on the downstream activities. Some people say we are the only pure downstream player in energy. I'm not really sure if this applies if you compare also with smaller companies, and size is not the most crucial issue, but that's the fact. And we are currently in the middle of that journey. You might have heard that the deal with RWE, us pushing all renewable activities to them, was approved already. And now we are in an interesting discussion with EU Commission about getting this deal approved. And we hope that this will be done by end of year. So that's the first message. Second message is, if we look at E.ON, so main activities are power and gas, a bit of heating. It's about sales, it's about energy networks that are corresponding. I think what we have is quite unique if you look at the footprint that we will have from a regional perspective, as our activities will span from the north of Sweden down to Romania, and we even have an important joint venture in Turkey. And these are very different markets. On the other hand, I think for cooperation, it allows that you find a good solution with us, a good partner to scale. Why am I saying this? I mean, you see the numbers here, 50 million customers in a combined view, 1.5 million kilometers of a network. This is quite a size. However, it's certain that this size will not be sufficient to survive if we are not going to constantly change the company. And the clear belief is also that this change needs to come from innovation. If you look at a company of this size, we cannot grow that much anymore externally, and we know about this. So innovation is really key. And one interesting part in this is in the so-called Project Sunrise, so the merger, where I have, as an accountant, the opportunity to run innovation and strategy as the workstream lead. We saw the decision of our CEO, Johannes Theissen, that he wants to be personally responsible for innovation in the future, meaning also that we don't have any split between customer solution, sales, and energy networks. We will have really a combined view on both. And this is also something that we are seeing, that solutions become more and more relevant for both at the same time, energy networks, quite regulated business, and customer solutions. What have we thus set up? And this is not completely new. Some of these activities are in the market since some years. But we have set up an innovation ecosystem that is well filled already. So nothing that is only a PowerPoint chart. And the clear belief behind this here is that we need to cover external innovation from all sources. Yeah? So you see, and I will talk about this in the next minutes, you see an accelerator, you see a venture arm, you see quite extensive cooperation with universities. And we are happy that we have a very good relationship with RWTH Aachen. And I know that some of the founders here come from RWTH. It's not the only one, but something where we see that there's really an entrepreneurial spirit that is growing more and more in these universities, and they are looking for a go-to-market. What else? There's one additional item that is also covered by my teams. This is about the partnerships, a quite interesting one, as I found that during the last years, we see some of startup-like companies that are not looking for the exit in the first step. They're more looking about something they want to grow, and they're looking for partners that they can grow with without selling in the end their share in the company because they want to run this not only to a certain size, but probably also for their life. And this is why we created these partnerships, which are thus not exit-oriented. And it's not only the big names that you see here, there are also some smaller ones, where we believe that probably with some other co-investors, as we are believing in co-investments, we can fund these companies if they are of strategic importance for us. So, for example, the company which is running the backbone of our EV activities is exactly in such a situation where we give a long-term commitment and run this without a determined end. The other two pieces, our accelerator, Agile. We just ran, I think, the 15th demo day yesterday in Düsseldorf. This is a program that was set up some 5 years ago, where we are looking into startups all around the energy space. However, we changed this approach, and this is, I think, also important about our activities, as we've been there since 5 years with startups in Agile and also in what we call then SCI, the mid to late stage investments. We have done quite some mistakes, and looking here in the audience, I see some faces who have joined us in these mistakes. But the important part is, I think, that we now found, I think, a good recipe since 2 years, how to run this as a corporate VC, and this is very much about cooperation. So Agile is for early stage startups where from the first moment, which we call the launchpad, this is about deciding who's joining an acceleration class, we bring the corporate guys in, and the team is set up in a way that they know these corporate contacts. They know also whom to work with, whom less, as what we're gonna want to get out of these 3 months phase is a clear commitment of a commercial pilot, not paid centrally by innovation, but by the business, as they need to be fully convinced about a new solution. If not, in such a complex structure like E.ON with a continuous change, you never get that running. The other item, SCI, strategic co-investments, looking at mid to late stage, has more or less exactly the same recipe. So this is about doing investments, Series A, Series B upwards, where we are also asking for a clear commercial relationship as a prerequisite. And we also found out that this is a quite narrow line that we have to find. What is a startup that is more a supplier for us, because we want to stay agnostic? What is something where we really want to have a strategic say in the company? So usually we're investing certainly minority share, but we want to sit in the board, we want to understand what's going on, and we want to be the moderator also with the business, as we understand that a business relationship is not that easy. It's not that you commit once to a pilot or a trial, and afterwards all things are running smoothly. The organization changes, people change. There are some questions that are probably not outspoken, and therefore I'm very proud of a team that is spending, I would say, 50% of its time inwards to the company to facilitate these commercial relationships, as this is in the end our license to operate. We want to bring innovation to E.ON and hope that we will find also new good partners here, extend our relationships with the ones that we have already, and certainly in the end find also good opportunities to laugh when we have some good successes in the business. So talk to us if you're interested in cooperating with E.ON, and then we might probably also find a possibility for investment. Thank you.